This is a video on intersection of straight lines and parabolas. So when lines and parabolas are graphed together, three things can happen. So in the diagram here, there's the examples of just a standard parabola, and the three things can happen. They can not meet at all. Okay, so not meet. Okay, they can meet at one point. Now this is called a tangent. Okay, so when a line touches a curve at one point, it's called a tangent. And the last thing is it can then intersect at 2 points. So this is actually called a secant. Okay, so we can find out the points or points of intersection for two lines, or a parabola and a straight line, by substituting one equation to another. Okay, so we make them equal to each other and solve it to find values of x. All right, the values can be substituted back into the equation to find the y values. So, for example, of this, we have two lines here. So the first one is a parabola. It's got an x squared. And the second one is a y equals 4. So that's actually a horizontal line. So I'm not going to bother drawing these. I'm going to show you how to do it just algebraically. Because they're both, so we're graphing them on the same, in the same plane. They're both equal to y. We can say that they're equal to each other. So what we do is we go x squared minus 3x equals 4. Alright, so what we do now is we need to find a way to solve for x. Okay, so we can't solve this for x, it's a quadratic, so we need to use our quadratic solving tools, which would be the null factor law. So let's make this equal to 0 by taking 4 away from both sides and getting our quadratic. Resulting quadratic is this. Okay, now we need to solve this or to factorize it. So let's think about numbers that multiply, factors of -4 that add up to -3. So let's -4, we can have, so -4 and +1 is a pair that will add up to -3, so that is a pretty simple one. So let's put that into brackets, and x plus 1 equals 0. So solving that, we're going to get x equals +4 and -1. Okay, so they are my two x values where these will actually meet up. Okay, to find out the corresponding y values for that, because that's just 2 points. So obviously what's going to happen with this, I'll do a rough sketch. Okay, so it's a little bit hard because I don't know the exact intercepts, but y equals 4 is up here somewhere, and I think this one actually will go through here somewhere like this. Maybe it'll look like that. Anyway, find +4. Yeah, actually I think that's going to be about right. Anyway, so to find out the y values of this, you don't actually have to do anything. Like if you think about it, the y values are both on this y equals 4 line. So in fact, this tells you that any intersection point will be on the y. So what you can say is that intersection points will be 4 and 4. Okay, 4 from here and 4 in the y direction, and -1 and 4. Okay, so they're my 2 points there. That will be that one there and that one there. That'll be 4 there, and that will be -1 there. Okay, so the same goes with this one. Horizontal lines, the y value is always going to be -2. Okay, so let's have a quick go at this one as well. We're going to make them equal. So x squared plus 2x plus 4 is equal to -2. Okay, so to make that equal to 0, I have to take 4, I have to plus 2 to both sides. Okay, so I'll make that in blue. X squared plus 2x plus 6 equals 0. Now, factorizing this one's a little bit trickier. I'm thinking of factors of 6 that add up to 2, and I don't think there is any. So there's no factors of 6 that add up to 2, because 2 and 3, 6 and 1, you're not going to get 2. So there are options for solving, either the quadratic formula or completing the square. I'm going to show you completing the square method. I prefer that for a harmonic equation. So x squared plus 2x. Now I'm going to give myself some room. Okay, so if you remember correctly, I halve 2, which is 1, and then I'd square that. 1 squared is 1. I take away 1 plus 6 equals 0. Okay, and okay, so working this through, you might be able to see what's going to happen here. You might not, but what we get is the result is not a difference of 2 squares. Okay, which means that these 2 points, these 2 lines don't actually intersect. Okay, so lines do not intersect. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, so I'm not going to bother drawing that. They just don't. It'll be this. It's something like this up here. Okay, so let's have a look at the next examples here. Solve the following lines and parabolas to find points of intersection. So again, this time we haven't got horizontal lines. We've got 2 examples. So there's a standard parabola here, and a this will actually be a diagonal line. Okay, so again, it's the same process. Because they're both equal to y, we can make them equal to each other. So x squared is equal to 2x. Okay, we can't solve that. We need to take 2x from both sides to get a equation equal to 0. Okay, so we've got that now. We can use the null factor law if it's in factor form. So let's factorize. Take out x, and we're given that. Okay, so following this through with the null factor law, either x is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0, which will give an answer of x equals 2. Okay, so there's my two. There's my 2 x values. Okay, now these are not x-intercepts because even though we use the same format to find the x-intercepts, instead of what we're actually making it equal to not the x-intercept, we're making it equal to 2x. All right, so you can't actually draw it on a set of axes with these as being the x-intercepts. These are the other line intercepts. Okay, so to find out what the corresponding y value is, we put them into one of the equations. Either will work because they're both on the same. We've made them equal. So this is where they intersect. So let's do the second one because that's probably the easiest. So y equals 2x. If I make x equals 0, that becomes y equals 0. Okay. In this one, y equals 2 times 2 equals y equals 4. Okay, so my 2 intersecting points are at 0, 0 at the origin, and 2, 4. Okay, and you can actually draw these quite easily because we'll do a quick sketch. Okay, because we can actually do this. We know what these graphs look like. We know that y equals x squared, the standard parabola looks like this. And we know that 2x, y equals 2x, that's a linear equation. It goes through the origin, and it goes through like this. Okay, so it'll goes through at 0, 0, as we said, and 2, 4, as we said up here. Okay, so this last one here, I might actually finish this video up because it's 10 minutes. I don't usually like going longer than 10 minutes, so I'll do this one separately and come back to you.